where we have stopped? Any ideas, Swata?
SICF activating the internet.
Okay. Okay, other than that, so I'm sharing a screen so you can see and you can tell if you are not remember.
We have seen the activating the application feature.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Good. So no problem. Yesterday we have basically discussed about the post configuration steps. Okay. In the post configuration steps, we have just started a few of the steps like client copy and SACF settings, as well as the activating applications in client. So these three different areas we have discussed. And point one, client copy. Whenever you install the GR system and ready, then afterwards we need to create a new customized client. In that client, we need to copy the data, standard data from the 000 client to whatever the client you have created. So that activity will be taken care by the business consultant. Afterwards, activating the applications. So we need to perform this step by using the SPRO settings. Under configurations we can able to do this one. Afterwards, so there is one more point we have discussed, that is nothing but a SACF settings. So basically SACF settings, why we need to do this one means to activate the services. So for this purpose we need to use this one. So why we need to activate these services? So same way, yesterday I have given a brief idea about SAP GUI and NWBC. Basically this NWBC is built upon all the web developers applications. These web developer applications, if you want to work properly, then we need to activate these services. Then only all the NWBC relevant links and services will work fine. So this is the main reason. Now let's go and see. So let me log on to the client 200. This is for the GRC one. GRC user file. What happened? Okay. So we have done the two steps. Now one more step we are trying to perform. That is nothing but activating the BC sets. So BC sets are nothing but business configuration sets. So why we need to activate these things? Why we need to activate BC sets means, because once you activate these BC sets, right, whatever the data which we have discussed in ARA, whenever we discussing ARA, right, at that time we have discussed about the few of the concepts in ARA, like a standard, rule set, global. It will be mapped to the all standard risks, and risks are coming because of the standard functions. Each function is having certain decodes and certain actions and permissions. All these things will be mapped to the standard connector group. This kind of concepts we have discussed. So all these things, standard data will get activated whenever you are activating these BC sets. Okay, so good. Now how can we activate these BC sets? By using transaction code called SCPR20, we can go and we can able to activate the BC sets, which is called SCPR20. So here we are having the various different types of business sets. So how many components we are having? Total 4 components: ARA, ARM, BRM and EAM. Each component is having the unique basis sets need to activate. Okay, let's go and see how many are there. So you can click on here. So GRAC star. So those are related to the access control basis sets. So total 22 basis sets are there. So in this list of basis sets, which one is related to the which component and everything. So the rule sets which are starting from here to here, GRAC underscore RA underscore rule set, all these are related to the till here. These are related to the ARA component, access risk analysis. So that's why here straight away mentioned GRAC underscore RA, risk analysis specific basis sets. And you can see in the top of level, so access request application mapping from here to access request type, fourth one. So these are related to the access request management ARM. So and here few of the role sets are starting with GRAC underscore role management to sensitivity to here. These rules, these basis sets are related to the BRM role management, and last one is the SPM underscore critical underscore level. This is for the EAM component. Okay. So like this, we are having the different business sets are there. So for whenever you are working on a component, at which component you are activating or which component you are actually working. So based upon the requirement, we will go and we'll sequentially go and activate this one. But the first and foremost thing is mandatorily we need to activate the ARA specific rule sets. Then afterwards, based upon the component which you are working, maybe you are working only EAM, then we can SPM underscore critical level is fair enough. So if you are also working on the ARM, access request management, then obviously we need to activate the GRAC underscore access underscore request specific basis sets. Okay, so these are all these things will open the standard data and activate the standard data. So along with the ARM, so for ARM, along with these access request basis sets, there are the 4 different basis sets are there. Along with this, there are a few more basis sets also there need to activate. GRC star. Okay. So these are the 3 different bases also need to activate if you are working on the ARM component. That's nothing but a MSMP standard configuration, sample configuration, all those data which we will receive. So this data is purely delivered for the MSMP component, MSMP configuration, all those things. Basically, these MSMP configurations are helping for us to automate the processor. So this is the major area which we need to work on it. If you are implementing the ARM component, so you guys need to mandatorily activate these business sets as well. Okay, good. Let's go back to the risk analysis specific basis sets. GRAC underscore RA underscore rule set. So I'm just simply putting as a GRAC underscore RA star. See, almost all 12 different entries are identified over here. All these are related to the access risk analysis. Now in this list of basis sets, which basis set we need to activate? Okay, good. So this GRC component, this GRC access control will be able to provide the support to the other ERP products as well, like PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, Oracle and all those things. If your backend system is JD Edwards or Oracle or PeopleSoft something, then we need to activate this one, JD Edwards, Oracle, PeopleSoft. These are the different basis sets we need to activate. If your backend is SAP, you need not to activate these basis sets. Okay, this is the point 1. And next point, and in your backend, if you are having the other systems like SCM, okay, supply chain management, SRM, supplier relationship management, CRM, customer relationship management, okay, so all these things were there along with the ECC. Then based upon the requirement, we will go and we will activate these components. Okay, so first one is the common, rule set common. This is the most common rule set we need to activate irrespective of the component. Whether you are using SRM or CRM or anything, you can go and you can able to activate this BC set. After activating this one, if you are having only ECC kind of environment, there is no SRM, there is no CRM, nothing is there, then no need to worry. For ECC, what are the components we need to activate means, first one is a common, then second one is the basis, rule set underscore basis. Okay, so then afterwards rule set underscore SAP underscore ECC is okay. So then afterwards, based upon the component in ECC, what kind of component you are using, whether you are having HR data or non-HR data. If you are also following the HR concept in the ECC environment, then we need to activate this HR. If you do not have any HR, then not required. HR component not required, then HR is fair enough. Along with that, we need to also install the R3. So these are the BC sets are required for ECC environment. Okay. Along with that, if you also having the SRM system in your landscape, if you want to perform the risk analysis for SRM and all those things, yes, we need to activate this SRM specific rule set. If you are having CRM, then CRM specific rule set. If you are having the SCM, nothing but APO. Previously we are calling APO. So APO, nowadays we are calling same component as SCM, supply chain management. Yes. So like this, we have to go and we have to activate over here. For BA system specific, we do not have any standard rule set, but because BA is purely depending on your customer specific requirements and everything. Most of the customized reports and everything will be customized only. There is no standard data which will be available over here there. So we mostly use the custom data only. That's the reason for BA perspective. So SAP has not delivered any of the standard rule set. For SRM, CRM, and SCM and all those things, SAP has delivered individual BC sets over here. So this is the concept. Now let's go and activate any one of the role set over here. So click on the role set name. And how can we activate? Click on the activate BC set. Okay. Remember, whenever you are doing any activation or modification, anything related to the SPRO configuration, system immediately asking us to create a transport request. So generally, whenever you are creating a transport request, right? So just try to make sure it. So try to create a individual transport request, like for configuration, for activating BC sets. Like this, you try to create an individual transport request. Then tomorrow it will be helpful for us whenever we are importing the TRs, right? So we can go and we can able to import these TRs in a sequential manner. So there is already one TR has been created. I'm just including my change into the TR, no problem. Save OK. And here you can specify the overwrite all data, no problem. And select the mode. Mode is a expert mode. So try to activate this thing in the expert mode and click on continue activation. So this thing will be activated. So slowly it is starting activating the common workflow. Okay. So this way we need to go and we need to activate all these things. Once the BC set has been activated, right? No problem. If you are going, if you are activating the once again, no problem. Activation and end with the additional information. See. So if you want to check the log for this BC set activation and everything, so here you can go and you can click on the activation logs. Okay, so here this is the way we can go and we can able to activate these things and see. So here we are able to see some dates. What exactly these dates are there? So no problem. These dates are nothing but activation dates. So today is the 28/10/2014. At this time I have activated. Last time also I have activated 24th, 18th, 17th, 14th. Like multiple times we have activated these things. So no problem. If you are activating multiple times also, it won't be any problem. So this way we can go and we can able to activate all the BC sets which are related to your product. Maybe only you guys are having only ECC, then try to go and try to activate the BC sets which are specified to. Along with ECC, if you are using SRM, then SRM, CRM, CRM, APO, APO. For each component, individual specific BC sets are delivered by SAP. Okay, good. So next step is the generating the required roles and profiles. Now let's go to the SUIM transaction code /n SUIM. There we can able to identify the SAP standard roles. SUIM roles by complex selection criteria. Okay, here star GRAC star. Good. So total 29 roles are appearing. I think here 1 or 2 roles customized as created. Yes, explained. Okay, so total 28 roles are SAP standard roles. So whenever here I am searching these roles, right? How I am searching here? So star GRAC star. That means access control specific roles only I am searching. Why? Because so this GRC is component, right? It's installed on the above stack, and the foundation add-on is the GRC FND underscore A. So this once you install this foundation above specific component, automatically this access control, process control, risk management, these 3 components automatically gets deployed into the system. So but here we are only working on the access control. That's the reason we are very much bothered about our access control specific roles only. So in this list, so SAP has already defined these SAP delivered author roles and everything. Here in each and every role, SAP has already given the certain roles, and the roles, specific objects are already included in these roles as a manually. So because even though in here, if you want after configuration and everything, so even though if you are having SAP all and SAP new access, we were not able to maintain, we were not able to configure the GRC system. So okay, so if you want to configure GRC activities and all those things, obviously we would require these roles to be assigned to our administrator user ID. Then only we can go and we can able to perform it. Even though SAP all SAP new will not sufficient, because all these authorization objects are additionally added objects. So for getting this access, we obviously required to get these objects are assigned to our user ID. So objects we cannot able to assign directly to this our user ID. So how can we assign? We have to SAP has created few of the roles, and through that roles SAP is assigning providing that access to our user ID. So this is what happening over here. And now first we will go and we will see as a GRC administrator what kind of roles are required for us for configuring the GRC. Okay, so first and foremost thing is the first one, SAP underscore GRAC underscore all. This is a super admin access in the access control. So next role is the SAP underscore GRAC underscore base. SAP underscore GRAC underscore NWBC. SAP underscore GRAC underscore reports. See, whatever the roles which I am specifying over here, right? These roles are required for administrator. If you want to configure anything, obviously we would require access to this one. Next one, setup. SAP underscore GRAC underscore setup. SAP underscore GRAC underscore rule setup. So these are the most common roles for ARA component. Okay. For configuring the ARA component, everything, we would require these roles. Along with that, if you are implementing the BRM component, that means a role administration component. So in addition to this one, we would require the GRAC underscore role management underscore admin. We would require this administrator role if you are configuring the BRM. SAP underscore GRAC underscore super underscore user underscore management underscore admin. This role is also required for us if you are configuring the EAM component. See, each component is having the specific roles and everything. Administration specific roles. If you're having these admin roles, then only we can go and we can able to configure the EAM, ARM, BRM and all those things. Okay, see, SAP underscore GRES underscore access underscore request underscore admin. So this is admin role is for ARM component. So ARM is having one admin role, BRM is having one admin role, EAM is having one admin role. Along with that, so the additional roles are the SAP underscore GRES underscore all, SAP underscore GRES underscore NWBC, SAP underscore GRES underscore setup, SAP underscore GRES underscore role setup, SAP underscore GRES underscore base, SAP underscore GRES underscore end user. So these are the roles we need to assign to our user ID. So as an administrator, we can go and we can able to configure the remaining activities. So this is the key activity. Okay. So as an administrator, we are done. Okay. Now in the GRC, we discussed about the various persons and everything. Like if you take ARA component. In ARA component, we have discussed the various concepts like functions, risks, rule sets, along with the mitigation controls, and all those things. In each component, we are having the individual approvers. So if you want to use one, if you want to make sure one person has a function approver, so we need to create a function approver user ID, right? So as well as the risk. So risk is also having the risk owner. So risk owner, function approver, each person, if you are trying to creating one person as a function approver, yes, we are having the dedicated function approver role over here. If you're trying to making one person as a risk owner, yes, we are having the dedicated risk owner role. And so you would like to provide the risk analysis, running risk analysis access to any one of the user. Okay, any one of the user is there, or manager, somebody else is there. So for that manager guy, you would like to provide the risk analysis access. So for that one, do you have any individual specific role? That means yes, we are having the individual specific role. That is this one. SAP underscore GRES underscore risk underscore analysis. Individual risk analysis role. For any of the person require access, we will go and we will try to provide this one. So that the guy can able to perform the risk analysis. So along with that, I told you risk owner. So if you want to make one person as a risk owner, so this risk owner and function approver. So these are the roles along with that. Okay, so I told you one more concept in ARA, that is nothing but a mitigation concept. Here in mitigation wise, if you are trying to creating any mitigation controls, basically each mitigation control is having the mitigation control approver and owner. So approver as well as the monitor. So here also we are having the two different roles. Approver as well as the monitor, as well as the owner. So different roles are individually delivered by SAP based upon the requirement. Okay, we're trying to create an owner, go ahead and add this one. Trying to create an approver, go ahead and add this role. So then users can get the relevant access and everything. So and remember it, along with these actions, you try to assign the one base role as well, base role and end user. That means they will get the minimal access. So in ECC and all other environments, what we will do generally, whenever we are creating end users, we will along with the roles, whatever they are doing original business and actions, and we will try to provide the one end user role, or else general access role, or else common role. So in that role, what we will try to include, we will try to include the session underscore manager T code, SU53, okay, and other T codes like SM37, SM36. So such kind of basic T codes we will try to provide through that role. Yes, SAP also here SAP also has been delivered the one standard role, that is nothing but a GRES underscore SAP underscore GRES underscore end user role, along with that base. And along with these two roles, we need to assign the one more role, that is the NWBC role. Why we need to assign this NWBC role? So this role also, we need to assign this role to any one of the approver, and everybody we need to assign this role. Why we need to assign it? Just double click over here. So these are the four different links are there. My home, setup, access management, reports, analytics. Different tabs are there. So if user is having access to this role, then only user can able to log on to the NWC screen. There he can able to run the risk analysis. There he can able to approve the any request, whatever it is. If you want to do anything, so basically he would require the NWBC role. Then only the user can able to see the NWC screen. That's the reason. So irrespective of the user, if you are trying to create any user in GRC, we will go and we will try to assign this NWC role. And rest of those roles, based upon the requirement, we will go and we will try to assign it. So these are the risk analysis roles I have shown to you. ARA component specific roles. And so, similarly, we are having the access request approval role is there. So if you are working on the ARM component, so ARM component is access request or approval and all those guys were there. Or else same way if you are working on the super user privilege management, nothing but the EAM concept. There we are having the firefighter owner, controller, firefighter ID, as well as the normal dialog ID. All the different persons will be there. For each one, for each user, we have SAP has delivered the individual role. So this is the administrator role, firefighter controller, firefighter owner, firefighter user ID. Like this, so SAP has delivered the individual role for each and every task, for each and every action in a GRC. These roles are most common roles. What we have to do in the phase of implementation, what we have to do is, we have to copy these roles and we need to create a new set of the roles by following your own customer naming spaces and everything. Generate these roles and afterwards try to create a user ID, admin user ID and other user IDs based upon the requirement by assigning these roles. Anyway, at present we are starting from the scratch level, right? So at present we would require one administrator ID UD. That's it. Try to go and try to assign these roles to administrator user ID, and afterwards whatever SAP and SAP you can able to assign to your user ID. So this is the administrator user ID we have set up. Afterwards, if any of the person is required and everything, we will go and we will try to create it and we will try to assign the relevant roles which I have explained to you. So this is the basic idea about these roles. So these roles are really important. That's why I spend quite good time about these roles and all those things. So good. So next one is the creating the required users. So that's what. So as an initial phase, we need to create the administrator ID as a first step. Afterwards, based upon the requirement, we will go and we will try to create those additional user IDs by assigning the required roles. Next one is the activating common workflow. So this task which I would like to explain in the wherever we start the ARM, right? There I will try to explain this one. So activating the common workflows and all those things. So this is the way we can able to so deliver the post configuration steps. These are the generic post configuration steps, so required for the all components. So is it clear? Chidana, Sweta, is it clear?
Sure. Okay.
Good. So good. What about you, Sweta?
Yes, I'm clear.
Yeah. Good. So now I am going to taking as a component wise configurations and everything. So we will start with the configurations of ARA, then afterwards we'll go to other components and everything. So and here just try to remember one point over here. So in GRC we are having the 4 components, right? So most of the customers, they won't use all the 4 components in their environment. Generally, some of the customers, they will use either 1 or 2 components or 3 components like this only. So some customers will use only ARA. Some customers will use only firefighter concept. Some customers they wanted to use ARM concept. So in that case, if they want to use ARA, then fair enough, no problem. So this is the first component we are trying to perform, and this thing is a fair enough. Afterwards, if you want to perform any other configure any other components like EAM and everything, if you want to configure EAM, basically ARA is required. Same way, if you want to configure ARM as well, ARA is required. So ARA is simply case you can say it's the heart of the entire GRC. Whatever activity you want to perform, basically you would require a ARA. That's the reason we are starting with the ARA component. So now let's go and see the post configuration. So nothing but a configuration activities for the ARA. Whatever activities I am trying to explain you, all these things you need to follow a sequential order only. If you miss this sequence, you might not get some kind of configuration activities and all those things. So try to go ahead and do it in the sequential manner only. Whatever order I am trying to specify to you, so please follow that order only. Good. So first and foremost step is, if you want to use this ARA component or any of the component, what we need to do? We need to establish a connection between GRC to your backend systems. Point one. So how can we establish a connection to GRC to backend? First step is the RFC connections. Because both this GRC and backend are built up on a web stack, by using RFC connections, we can able to establish a connection between GRC to backend. Point one. Okay. Now after configuring the RFCs, what we have to do? So we need to, technically the channel has been established, but afterwards we have to confirm to the GR system what kind of backend systems, what kind of backend clients we are going to using for ARA, ARM and EAM components. So that thing we have to confirm. We have to confirm. All these activities nothing but a connectors configuration we have to say. Connectors configuration. So this is the first activity. So here, first step I told you RFC. From now onwards, so I'm calling this as in GRC terminology connector. So here, whether the connection has been established means, that means we have to make sure whether the RFC connection has been successfully been established to the GRC and backend servers or not. So this is the first step we need to take care. Now, once this RFC connection has been established, so in our backend servers, so whatever it is ECC, if you take it, so in the one system, if you take one system DR1, we are having the multiple clients. So like this, various clients are there. Okay, it's good. So each client I am calling as a one individual target connector. Individual target connector. So for example, here your backend system is a DR1. Here your GR system is a, so for example I am saying here GR system is a GD1. Okay, in GD1 200 is the your GRC client. So what are your backend servers? DR1 is the one ECC development. Okay, QR1 is the your ECC quality environment. Here also we are having the 200, 300, 400, like this we are having the multiple clients are there. Okay, it's pretty good. So now how can I establish a connection between GD1 200 to DR 100? By using the RFC connections that I am calling as a connector. Okay, the connection has been established. Afterwards, each and every client I'm calling as a one target connector. So this target connector, how it look like? This target connectors will simply like a logical system names. How the logical system naming convention is there? SID, CLNT, client, number. So this way we can go and we can able to build the logical systems naming convention. Good. Here also a target character, we have to build like the same approach. DR1 CLNT 100, DR1 CLNT 200, DR1 CLNT 300, like this. So we need to, okay, so like this we need to specify these things, DR1 CLNT 200, 300 and like this. So each one is a one target character. So what we have to do here, we need to map these target connectors to GRC. So how can we map and all those things, I will try to explain you. This is another kind of activity we need to do so. So and afterwards, okay, so we need to create a connector groups. So connector groups are nothing but these are the logically combining all these connectors. So here, so I'm creating a one connector group that is nothing but a ECC specific connector group. What I'm planning to do is I would like to club all my development ECC clients as well as all my quality ECC client as a one group. This connector group does not exist physically. These things will be logically combining all these connector groups. Why it is required means, so there is a specific feature over there. I will explain you whenever we are modifying the functions. But till now, you just try to remember, connector groups are basically logically combining your target connectors. How it is combining based upon the functionality. You can go and you can able to club only development DCC clients into one target connector, only quality DCC clients into one target connector. That's up to you. How you would like to configure and all those things. It's purely depend upon your work and everything. But here, this activity, so we need to perform over here. And afterwards, we need to add the system. Once we creating connector group, we need to add the target connectors into the connector group. Means how you will club it, all the development connectors into one group. You can club it. Why we are creating this one means, so I will let you know while we are modifying the functions. And afterwards, another step in the connector configuration is it. So mapping connectors to integration scenario. Mapping target connectors. Integration scenario. So okay, so here integration scenario, if you map it, then only system will understand all these things. Okay, so in the system we would like to perform the risk analysis. In in system I need to perform the emergency access management activities. And all those things we are conforming to the GRC box. So once the RFC connection and part is done, rest of the activities, defining connectors, adding the target connectors, afterwards creating logical group and mapping target connectors to integration scenario, all these activities we are technically conforming to the GRC box. These are your backend servers. Here we need to perform these kind of actions and everything. So this is the one we are trying to confirm. All these things will come under connectors configurations. Good. So once you connect this backend system to this GRC box, right, we can go and we can able to use these connectors for all the four components, BRM, ARM, EARA, and all the four components we can able to use it. These settings are not only specific to the ARA, all these things we can go and do in multiple environments. Let's log on to system. So all the configuration activities will be performed under SPRO transaction code only /n SPRO SAP reference IMG. Yesterday we have been to GRC. Under general settings, we have activated the applications in client. And after what? Go to the common component settings, integration framework. Go to the common component settings, integration framework. So once we have done with integration framework, go to the create connectors. So this create connectors is basically, it's a kind of RFC connection with SM59 transaction code only. There is no difference. So once we are done, automatically it is going to the SM59 transaction code. Here we need to establish a connection, RFC connection between your GRC system to the backend server, and afterwards from backend also we need to create one more RFC. Basically here we need to create the two different RFC connections from GRC to backend, backend to the GRC. If you are only created RFC from GRC to backend and you have not created anything backend to GRC, then all your background jobs, synchronization jobs will not work. So whatever activities, remember it, this is a generic concept. If you are creating RFC connections, this RFC connection should be a two-way communication. Source to target, target to source. Like this we need to configure RFC connection two ways. This is generic, not only for GRC, remember it. So along with that, once you have done this part, so if you are aware how to create these RFCs, is pretty good. If you are not aware, if you are having any confusion, so we can go and we can interact with the base system, try to get input and try to create it. So for your information, I'm just trying to open in one of the RFC connection over here. I'm just trying to opening the one RFC connection. See, here I am trying to do it. So RFC destination, from where to where you are trying to connecting. Connection type 3 is nothing but a ABAP connection. Okay, specify the description. Under that administration, you can specify the target host name. So from GR system to you are trying to come backend system, right? What is the backend system host name? You try to specify over here. Then try to specify the system number as well, instance number, then IP address. If you can select this IP address based upon the target host name you specified, automatically system will pick that one. If it is not picking up, no problem. You can go and you can able to specify the IP address of the particular target server. So if you are not aware what is the IP address and all those things, no problem. You can send a mail to the system, try to get the information. Afterwards, under the logon and security tab, here we need to specify the one user ID. This user ID is basically helping for us to connecting from your GRC system to the backend server. Whenever you are trying to create an RFC connection, right, here we need to specify the communication user ID basically. So no problem, if you put dialog also it won't be any problem, but communication ID is the ideally best practice, and all those things will be in a different security concept. So I'm not going much in detail about communication dialog, all those things. Best thing is you can specify the communication user ID and try to specify the save and everything. Once it is done, so click on the save, then afterwards you can perform the connection test. If you perform the connection test, it should be successful. Then afterwards, if you click on the remote logon, right, the system will be has to be route from the your backend server, your GR server to the backend server. So this is the concept. So these are the connectors configuration we need to do. And next one is the maintain connectors and connection types. So this is the key area which we need to cover more a lot. So maintain connection types and settings, as well as the connection settings. So these are here only. We will try to search integration scenario and all those things. So these are the key concept. Okay. So here, if you start it, like it will go on different and one more hour, another 30 to 40 minutes. So I don't want to disturb this concept. So I would like to go ahead in the one flow. That's the reason I'm just stopping over here. So tomorrow we'll discuss all the remaining areas. So that is how we can able to build the next level connectors, connector groups, what is the connection types, and all those things will go in a sequential manner. Okay, so at present I'm just stopping over here. So tomorrow we'll meet and we will discuss the further areas. So any queries for today's session?
No, sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
No. No.
Okay, good. So thank you. So if any of the queries, you can let me know. No problem. So tomorrow we will try to meet at the same time and we'll start discussing. Maybe till now we do not have much scope to practice it, but from now onwards we will have a lot of scope to practice and all those things. The new concepts are coming into picture slowly and all those things. So from now onwards, be careful how these configurations are happening and all those things. Okay. Thank you guys. We'll meet
Thank you.
tomorrow.
Bye.
Thank you.